Hey Soul Tribe, Tracy here with Sweet Spot E-Magazine. Thank you so very much for the likes, shares, subscribes, comments, the generous donations, the hypes, everything. I appreciate it all. Let's go ahead and ring this bell. Let's clear out the energy, and then we'll see what the message the Spirit has for us. Imagine after so many years, you sitting back one day and reviewing your life. And not just reviewing your life, but one particular person comes to mind. How you tried to hold them back. How you tried to shut everything that they were doing down. And how none of it, no matter how long and how hard you tried, worked. I feel like somebody is having that review right now. Hey, Bragsy. That's right. Wu-Tang. That's right. Bottom of the deck. Two of Wands. I feel like this person was kind of, you know how this card is looking both ways? Like looking in the past and then looking in the future. I feel like this person was someone that was two-faced in your life. This is somebody that, was immature. This is somebody who came against you time and time and time again. This is somebody who's perplexed right now that no matter what they did, and they did a lot, they couldn't take you down. Because if you look at this card, you see somebody's in the water, okay, with all those swords pointing at them, and somebody else was trying to clean up the crime scene. And no matter what, somebody's receiving justice, because we all know that what you put out is what you get back. Now somebody is watching you, how you're independent. You have everything that you could possibly want, everything that you could possibly need, and how your life is moving forward. In fact, it's like the longer you live, the more you're receiving, the more your life is going up. Imagine you're telling everyone about, the spells, the curses, and everything that was directed towards you from the past. But you're telling people, and now they're finding out that that was the fuel that you needed to move forward. Somebody, they want to apologize. They want to apologize because now, and only now, for the first time, they can see how much pain they actually caused you. This person is under judgment. This person is finding out that not only were you an earth angel, or are you an earth angel, but you're also chosen. This is somebody who was meant to be in a relationship with you, not against you. This person is thinking about all the tricks that they played, how all the chaos that they single-handedly created, how they tried to throw a rock and then hide their hand, like as if you wouldn't know, as if you couldn't see it, as if you couldn't feel it. Hey, Sneak Pokey, how are you? This person is now internalizing something. They're internalizing the hate and the pain that they threw at you. That they regret this. It's almost like people are talking, and what they have to say is not so nice. Because you are a high priestess. You have a gift, and you have a lot of love. Your duty and your purpose and your job here is not to hurt, but it's actually to help. But somebody didn't like that. Hey, J Mike. Hi, affinning onion. I'm sorry, the names. Because this person is having a review of their life. They're thinking about everything. And not only are they thinking about everything, but they're realizing this is a lot of major arcana that's being presented. They're realizing that they couldn't stop you even if they tried, and they tried. That your life is still moving forward. Spirit is still carrying you forward. You're still closing chapters that they meant for you to keep it for it to remain open forever, but it's not happening like that. It wasn't supposed to happen like that. It's like the wind is coming and blowing everything clean for you. All the leaves all those dead leaves are being removed, and they're being taken back to the yard where they belong. And that's not your yard. Somebody is realizing that they were your secret enemy. And maybe not even so secret. It was their wish fulfillment that they would be able to keep you stuck somehow, to hurt you, to harm you. They wanted to see you cry. Hey, Addie. This is someone that you had to find out that, you know what, this person was not that loving, caring person, but this is somebody that you had to protect yourself from. You had to separate yourself from. This is somebody you actually had to go against in battle. Hey, Firefly. Thank you. Now someone is understanding that everything that they did, it was for nothing. They're finding out and they're realizing that they can't do anymore. God won't allow it. God has stopped all of it. And the truth has come out. This could be about a father, a husband, a grandfather, a patriarch figure in this family. And how you were meant to be a star. How it's your life's calling. You know, this person, they always saw that you were independent. You was that person that would say, I'm going to do this, and you would do it. The person that wasn't afraid to leave home, the person that wasn't afraid to travel on their own, the person that wasn't afraid to just embark on new experiences, even though they tried to stop you. They tried to come up against you. You know, it's almost like this person, you know, they knew that you would be wealthy one day. They knew that you would be doing better than them, that you would have a lot to show for your efforts, for your sacrifices that you made. And they didn't realize that you were actually making sacrifices for them. You used to, until you found out that somebody didn't want you to be able to reach your goals because they were in that dark negative energy. Even whenever, you know, somebody wanted to give you the accolades that you deserve, somebody wanted to give you kudos, somebody else, this person wanted to just make it seem like, oh no, it's not that big of a deal. You know, they wanted to knock you down. They wanted to make sure that you didn't have that sound footing. They didn't want people to say, oh, this person has done so well. And now this person, it's like they want to come and apologize for all the secrets, all the lies, everything that they did to try and hold you back. You know, you worked hard. You had to work hard to come out of the muck and the mire. And look at her hands and her feet over these barbed wires. But she's determined to work this. She's determined to make her way. And this was you. See, somebody didn't realize that you were an empress, a true empress. Or maybe they did. But now that the sun is out, there are no more secrets. Someone wants to make something right. They're thinking about, who they worked with, and how, like I said, how somebody tried to hold you back, how they tried to deter your forward movement. And no matter what this person did, you kept moving forward. No matter how many attacks were there, you kept moving forward. You could have even had a mother in your life who cast a spell over you or tried to compare you or, downplay you to her other children, to or tried to put more on you than you were even able to bear and make it and to make the road lighter for somebody else, your siblings or other people in your life. You could have had a sister who was jealous of you and tried to cast spell over spell over spell on you, who tried to bully you until one day you had the nerve to look behind the curtain and you were no longer afraid of this bully. Whatever they did, people lied on you. They lied on you because they wanted you not to be able to reach your goals. They didn't want you to ever be what they considered above them. And it wasn't that you were trying to be above anyone. It's just that, you know what, you have a purpose here in life. And every time somebody tried to come up against you and it didn't work, they never understood why. But then one day God told you it was time for you to leave. And you left. You left begrudgingly. You felt like you were leaving the only family that you knew. You felt like you were leaving relationships that you felt were going to be in your life forever. But now as you look back on it, these relationships, they didn't want to be in your life. They didn't want to be a part of you. They didn't even really want you around. It's like you had to be your own leader. You had to be the person who gave yourself the love. Like you had to be your own mother and your own father. And now somebody is reviewing their life and they're thinking about everything that they did to you. And that's because their life is crumbling. That's because they're grappling with the fact that they were a bully, that you outpowered them, that you were stronger than them, that you were smarter than them, that you were wiser than them, that you could see exactly what they were doing. They're grappling with the fact that, you know what? You were the gift. You were the key. You had the wisdom. See, another thing they didn't realize is that Archangel Michael was always there watching over you. And now, this emperor thinking back to the past and having to understand or try to not even so much understand, trying to make themselves feel okay with how they try to do you. Hey, Mike Taylor News, how are you? What's the message, Spirit? Yeah. And this is what initially comes to mind. It's like you could possibly think back to times when someone in your family told you, "Oh, you're never gonna make it. You're never gonna make it." Like they was telling you, "You'll be the first to die. Out of everybody, you're gonna be the first to die," as if they wanted you to be the first to no longer be here. Hey, the soul archetype. It's like, and you sit there and think, well, wait, why are you even saying this to me? What does this all mean? Are you trying to, you hope this? It's just because, you know what? These people, they were jealous of you, especially this person, for whatever reason. This person felt like I said, that you were smarter, that you were wiser, that you knew the truth. This person actually feared you because they felt like you were stronger, like you could overpower them. And they knew that, each time someone tried to take you down, time somebody tried to go behind your back to get somebody to see things the way that they wanted to see things, you knew about it. You knew about it. Maybe you didn't even speak about it at that point, but you were going to speak about it soon enough. And see, it's because you're starting to open up, because you're putting out into the world everything that has happened, and people are noticing and they're listening and they're believing you because they remember the different times when somebody came up to them and said, "Oh, this person ain't going to be shit. This person, they lie, they cheat, they steal." And now they're thinking about everything and they're realizing somebody just didn't have any loyalty. This was a Judas that was in your life. This is somebody who didn't appreciate you, didn't want you around, because this person didn't like themselves. They didn't love themselves. They didn't know who they were. They just didn't want you to be stronger or brighter or more powerful or have more than them. See, this is somebody who, you possibly, they didn't want you to have your own family. Like you even possibly left or was searching for your own happiness, your own life. And this is somebody who didn't want that. They wanted to be a warlock in your life. They wanted to, "Oh, let me come to where you're at. Let me see your new place." But then whenever they get there, all of a sudden, when everything is good, it's all great and gravy. And then whenever after they leave, then all of a sudden everything starts tearing down. And you're sitting there wondering, well, wait a minute. Everything was great. Now everything is going to shit. What's the message, Spirit? And it's because they wanted to come just long enough so they could cast a spell. Cast a spell over your neighbors, over your friends who are now trying to be two-faced with you and now trying to compete with you. It just didn't make sense. It still doesn't make sense. I just feel like you just got tired of trying to figure out why. And now you're just in the mode of, you know what? I know that I can never be around those people again. I may never see those people again. I may never speak to those people again, but it's okay. You had to protect yourself. It's like you had to learn to be, worthy within yourself. You had to learn to be responsible, be respectful. You had to be your own mother. or your own father. Because even if you had that person in your life, they weren't being a mother or a father to you. And something about this Queen of Wands and this King of Wands, they tried to move forward with trying to strike you down, trying to curse you, trying to make it so that, whatever magic they were trying to do, it overtook you, overpowered you. They wanted to sit there and do some fuck shit over your life and then sit back and celebrate like they was getting what they wanted. But it's not how it worked out. The plan changed. Yep, I bet. Hey, Behaving Goals. I bet. Mike Taylor News. Hey, 2B Records. How are you? Hey, Robert. How are you, sweetie? Yeah. Somebody didn't want you to be seen as the earth angel. They wanted to discount everything that you did. They didn't want you to be seen as someone that was here to help the world, to help heal the world. They wanted you to be seen as somebody that was going to harm people. And that's why people started holding back from you. But now those same people that held back from you, now they are in regret because they also try to put their little hand in there. Like if somebody told them, "Oh, you don't have to respect them. You can do whatever you want," and so they fed off of that. That's exactly what they did. They would do little things to disrespect you, but now they're receiving their own karma for trying to even come up against you. See, there's a lot of people that allowed somebody else to think for them. People didn't realize that you could read their spirit. You could feel their energy. It's like the eyes are the windows to the soul, and you just looking in their eyes, you could tell about their soul. If they were easily manipulated, if they were a follower, you could tell if it was somebody that stood up for you on behalf of you, even behind your back, or if it was somebody that added to the chatter. What's the message, Spirit? Thank you. Yes, people are receiving everything that they put out. Somebody is learning, a lot of people are learning about integrity the hard way. They're learning about, it's not good just to jump on the bandwagon. They're learning about spirit. Confirmation with Sasha. Hold on. Keep your dog out my yard, please. Yes. Bye. Sorry, y'all. I live in the corner. Everybody think it's okay for their dog to come in my yard. Don't play that shit. And neither does Sasha. Bottom of the deck. The Hierophant. Yeah. This emperor is dealing and thinking about, the afterlife. Thinking about, how God, is sitting there looking down on this person for everything that they've done. How everything is out in the open now. Get your dog out of my yard, please. Y'all gonna see me perform today. These people are starting to see that, you know what? You were always here to help, to heal. And now they're shocked because they're experiencing a tower moment. How things just didn't end up the way that they thought it was. How you were able to protect yourself, how you were able to fight their curses, and how you are now receiving justice. It's like no matter how many people work together, you were always stronger than them. And even whenever you walked away, when you walked away, that's when they realized what you brought to the table. That's when they realized that you were an earth angel. And that's whenever people started to wake up to this King of Wands, gathering people to trying to come up against you. People started looking at you differently. Now they started seeing that you were, a chosen one. It's like they had to have some type of spiritual awakening, especially whenever they saw that you were able to stand alone, how independent you were, regardless of how many tricks that somebody tried to play on you, how you had everything that you needed to create the life that you wanted. People are seeing now that it's by the grace of God that your life is moving forward, and that you are receiving a lot of blessings from God. What's the message, Spirit? Yes, J. Mike. These people I don't think spoke English, but you know what? I'm gonna have to get me a whole bunch of signs. I already have one sign out there. I'm gonna have to get me some other signs. I'm just gonna get me an electric fence. That's what I'm gonna do. Every time one of them little mangy mutts cross into my yard, their ass gonna get zapped. Sorry. I'm positive. I'm grounded, but I'm tired of other people's dog shit in my yard. This person had to go within, and they had to think of why they had even come up with this plan. What was it about you that made them want to cross you? What was it about you that made them want to, get some type of satisfaction out of hurting you? And what was it about you that they felt like you didn't deserve their love, their admiration, their respect? Especially whenever this person could see that you worked so hard. You worked hard to have whatever it was that you wanted, but yet somebody tried to steal, say things, do things, cut you out, and still try to make it so that you were stuck. You weren't going to be able to go anywhere, that, people were going to be able to mistreat you, abuse you, and almost like they wanted you to be taken out. This is something that they had, that this person is thinking, from the past. They've been doing this and taking from you from when you were a child. We got 2 6s here, 66. And now somebody, they know that they owe you an apology. They know they owe you a big apology, because judgment is here for them as well. You're receiving judgment, and they are also receiving judgment. And here you are sitting on top of the world, and you've taken yourself away from them. You're in calm waters now, and now they're still stuck where they left you. At some point, when you do somebody wrong, you have to sit back, and when you do people wrong, whenever you cross people, whenever you're just not being a righteous person to somebody, because at some point you have to even sit back and say, damn, you know what, I was doing too much. That was just way too much. Like, why did I even do that? Why would I? Because if it was me, I wouldn't somebody to do me like that. At some point, people have to go through that. And if you haven't, you should ask yourself why. Because at some point, we all, when we leave this earth, we all have to answer to the Most High. Every one of us have to answer to the Most High. So instead of trying to figure it out whenever you get up there, and God's like, well, wait, tell me about this again, and tell me about that. Try and figure it out now. Try and ask for forgiveness now. You know, you don't want to find out that hell is real. You don't want to find out that, you know what, being a witch or a warlock was not even worth it. You don't want to find out that, you know, all those magic tricks, all those spells, all that, trying to put 10 swords in somebody's backs, trying to perpetuate these family curses. You know, you don't want to find out that you didn't even have to be a part of that. But because you chose not to look at yourself or try to work on yourself, now you have these fucking towers. You don't want to find out that it is so real that you can't even get into the pearly gates of heaven, that you got to sit outside. Just like you wanted somebody else to be sitting outside in the cold. Somebody is worrying. They're thinking about everything that they did to you. And not only are they thinking about everything that they've done to you, they know that nothing is hidden. God sees it all. We may not see it, but God sees everything. God is always on the lookout for some fuck shit. Because God is going to allow somebody, and not just God, but Archangel Michael is always there. If we allow him to fight our battles without us having to ask him, he's always on the ready. Hey, Sonny. How are you? And this is ever since before we even got here. Before we even knew what our purpose in life was. You know, it's like we have to really wake up. Someone, you know, they're reviewing their life now, thinking about and ashamed of how they tried to hold you back. But you know what? They should have been thinking about that when they were sitting there trying to hold you back. This is before this person realized that everything that they put out there, this magic is coming back to them. This is like they didn't have any good communication for you, because they was so, you know, trying to take you down. They was having so much fun being the devil's right-hand person. And now they're looking at everything totally different while they look at you. They are having the spiritual awakening while they're sitting here looking at you. Thinking how life would have been so different had they supported you. Thinking about how, you know, instead of coming against you, they could have given you love. They could have, you know, passionately put into you. They would have given you ideas of what to do or helped you. Sometimes you just have to think, what's it all for? And then on top of that, this person would not have ever, ever, ever been able to sleep had they did something so horrible to you that you just did not make it, because then they would have felt karma for the rest of their life. Hey, K Hypsee. What's the message? Hey, Shaylin, how are you? Yes. See, now they want to come and they want to make this apology after you've already walked away. You went from the 8 of Cups straight to the Nine of Cups. Like when you left misery and then you went to happiness. Now, it's sad whenever you leave a group of people or you leave someone and then all of a sudden life comes up because everything started working for you. You took that leap of faith, and all of a sudden you felt better. You received blessings. Hey, House 82, how are you? And that's what they're looking at. How after you left, what was supposed to have been a jail cell for you, a life sentence for you, how you left, how you broke free. And then all of a sudden, it's like you became free. Everything started going up for you. Everybody started listening to you because then they started seeing that, you not only were you getting better, you were doing better, you were happier, you were brighter. Everything that you were working on was balancing out and you were receiving good karma, dharma. Yes, the phoenix rising. Exactly. The phoenix rising. Yes, you were receiving that judgment. Everything that you had put out is coming back to you tenfold. I feel like, what you had ancestors around you that were sent here from God to help you. And this is how you were able to reach that star. This is how you were able to heal yourself and be really known for whatever it is that you do. You were on top of the world. Everything, you used to be down, but now you're up, and everything that somebody else tried to do has ended. Not only did you have to start all over, but you ended what used to be, and you had this big, beautiful rebirth to who you want to be now. Mike Taylor, if she has enough money, I'm going to demand a drop top Benz. I know that's right. Hey, AJ, how are you? Thank you so very much. I'm glad that you stopped in to say hello. Yes. Not only are you a star, but I'm telling you, you are blessed, baby. You are blessed. So blessed. God wants you to know this right now. You are the shining star. You knew what time it was. It's like you have a gift that no one else has. And let me tell you something. God is that spark. And God wants you to know that you are part of that spark. You see both sides of every situation, which is there to help you, which was there to save you. What else, Spirit? And you did it by remaining true, by speaking the truth, by not backing down. You were able to see both sides of any given situation. You were able to cut out what you no longer needed, what was holding you down and holding you back. What else, Spirit? What else? And somebody else, all they feel right now is shame. Because they realized when you walked away, you were defending yourself. You had to defend yourself at that point. What else, Spirit? Thank you. Yes, after so long, I feel like you, like they say, got it out the mud. You worked on yourself. And everybody else, it looked like everybody else was getting the leg up, getting the hand up, getting the hand out. And you were just sitting here, like you had to do everything by yourself. And the minute that you would get this, somebody will come and kick you in your knees so you fell down. Okay, so then you had to repair yourself, and then you try and get something else, and then somebody will come and knock that down. This was over and over and over. This was something that repeated itself constantly until you could take no more. And when you were sick and tired, that's whenever it was time. It's like this last time was whenever this witch tried to say this spell over you, and you knew what was going on. You knew what was going on. You knew that somebody was trying to cast something over you so that, they wanted to win at all costs. I'm telling you, there was a witch that was trying to cast some type of spell over you. And you felt it. That's whenever you just lovingly said, okay, I can't do this anymore. You weren't even going to get upset. You weren't going to get mad. You weren't going to argue. You weren't going to fuss. You weren't going to fight. You weren't going to say, I'm going to get you back. There was no revenge. You didn't need to seek revenge because God said, God got you. God's got you. And now, like I said, this emperor, they feel bad. They really do feel ashamed. They really do feel like they need to speak to you, and they want to talk to you about how they tried to come up against you, how they tried to get others, how they gossip against you, and how they tried to get others involved and trying to take you down. It's like this magician, this emperor is finding out that all the spells that were cast and how, they thought that they was going to be breaking your heart and doing you wrong. It didn't work. You saw everything and you still led with your heart. You still had compassion to that same family that was trying to take you down. Because you knew and you understood that you were the chosen one. You were the chosen one. You're the one who had the one that felt good about yourself. You're the one who was stronger than them all, and you knew this. And now they're all shaking in their boots because they are reminded of this. They knew it too, but right now they were reminded of this. Bottom of the deck, 4 of Cups. See, they didn't see what was right in front of them when they had the opportunity. They didn't know that you were so strong that you could protect yourself even whenever they tried to come up against you collectively until that tower hit. And they're all feeling that tower. They're all feeling that tower. All of them don't feel bad, Firefly, but some of them do. And they may not tell you because they feel like they want to save face. And they do feel bad for themselves, of course. Absolutely. But feeling bad for yourself is only going to get you so far. And they're going to talk to somebody and somebody's going to be like, well, didn't you do this? Well, wait, what about whenever you was doing that? And what about this? And what about that? See, right now, somebody they want to give you a present. They feel like that if they come and they give you something small, that you would forgive them, that you would help them heal. And, you would be like, okay, I forgive the family. It's no problem. You have compassion. You have empathy. You can forgive and you can even forget. But see, the thing is, it's like you doing this is not going to help them at all. It's only going to further your cause. They know that good things are coming in for you. They can sense it, almost like they can smell it. And they know that, once these things come in, the chapter is already closed. That book has already been written. That last page has already been read. And you already know about everything that they were doing to come up against you, how they were trying to overburden you, how they were trying to put all of this weight of the world on you. And now somebody's in their feelings and sitting back and they're meditating. They're meditating and they're thinking about everything that they put in there and how you still had to stand up for yourself. Somebody's realizing now that Archangel Michael was always here, always looking above, always on the ready. And no matter what they did, it didn't work. Archangel Michael put an end to it all. And now this person is having these pie in the sky types of dreams, trying to downplay the portion that they put into it or what they've done. And they're really thinking highly. They're thinking about spirit. They're thinking about their last days. And they're thinking about what they did, ever since you was a child. Like, how do I go and I ask their forgiveness? How and will they forgive me? This is a big change for this person. We got the Five of Pentacles, Five of Wands, and the Five of Swords. This is what this person is going through right now. They're going through their own personal hell because their life is changing in such a dramatic form. They know that you know the truth. They know that you know the truth. They know that you know what they did and why they did it. Somebody wanted to be seen as the winner. But see, they thought they were having their wish fulfillment. They thought that they was getting everything that they could possibly want, and nothing would ever change until the day you walked away. They didn't realize how much that was going to hurt them. They didn't realize how that was going to be the day that everything changed in their life. That was going to be the day that they actually woke up. They feel bad. They feel bad about what they've done. Wondering if they would always receive. They're always thinking about if they could get any forgiveness. And they feel horrible because it's like they didn't see you right here. They didn't see God's hand blessing them with this gift right here. When they were looking at everything else and they was doing everything else, and how they were trying to really cast all these spells, and for every spell it never worked. You was always in this protective bubble. What's the message, Spirit? What's the message? See, this person, they didn't realize that the spells weren't spelling that little way that they thought that they could take over. It's like this person is now seeing the truth about what they've done and who they did it to. They're understanding that, you was never going to be trapped. The things that they were doing to you wasn't hitting you. You were never going to be trapped, that they were never going to be able to be free of this. It's like they thought they was going to get your money. No, they're not getting anything. The only thing that this person is doing is they having to go within. They're having to look at their own dark night of the soul. That's it. Judgment is coming on this entire family. Things are happening. This entire family is is experiencing regret in a fast at such a fast pace. The spirit is bringing things to fruition for this family that they regret. They all regret. I feel like this past Christmas was something, it was not the jovial, but we're exchanging gifts. This past Christmas was a heavy Christmas for a lot of people. A lot of people. Because you weren't there. Hey, Melissa. Hey, Lightworker William. You being the Empress, you exercised faith. You went your own way, and they were watching you be happy. They are watching you be happy. And everyone is they're just thinking about what they did to try and come up against you. Everyone this Christmas was feeling a tower moment. And they're trying to hold things together. Nobody's really talking to anybody. Everybody's kind of holding back because they know justice is coming. They're all getting it. They're all feeling it. They're all regretting it, no matter what they say. See, ego and pride will make it so that a lot of them never come and apologize. And even if they do apologize, they're not too sure that you would even accept their apology. They don't even know if it's going to help with their karma. And a lot of them, they don't want you to see them because they are in the middle of getting karma. They don't want you to see that. They don't want you to feel like, oh, I got satisfaction because I saw this motherfucker broke the fuck down. They don't want you to see that. But you're getting, then you know that they're getting it. What's the message? You may be hearing about somebody losing a house. You may be hearing about somebody lost their car. You may be hearing about somebody whose own children or whose own child has turned against them, just like they tried to have that done to you. Everything that they've done to you, you're going to hear about somebody in your family is being done to them. Everything. They're going to find out the hard way. This is that fuck around and find out moment. That all that shit that they did to you has come back on them. This is when they stop trying to play the God in somebody else's life. Stop trying to control somebody else's life. Stop trying to make it so somebody else, doesn't get opportunities that they would love themselves. This is whenever they're finding out that all those words that they had to say about you, it doesn't stick. It doesn't mean anything anymore. This is when this witch is finding out that Archangel Michael was watching her the entire time. And everything that she thought she was blowing off to you was returned in kind. This emperor is finding out that yes, you are an earth angel. Especially since everything is starting to go in your favor. And now everything that they invested in nothing is turning out. Absolutely nothing. And sometimes it's like that. Sometimes God has to allow people to give them enough rope for them to string themselves up. And a lot of them, they took all the rope that they could take and they strung themselves up. Now they're stuck. and they don't know what to do. They just know that they can't get down. And your life is moving forward. And they know they can't stop you. Some of them can't even stand to watch you because they know they lied about you. They know they chose to act like they didn't see what they were seeing, that they didn't hear what they was hearing. Some of them, they can't, they don't want to, they don't even want to accept it. They don't even want, they feel like they can't even watch you. It's like burning them up just to watch you be successful. It's eating them alive just to watch you be happy. It's hurting their heart to watch you receive everything that was promised to you by the Most High. This could have been, and I feel like this witch is finding out or realizing that you were always more powerful than her. Always. There was never a day that you weren't more powerful. You know? It's like this witch could have been a Leo, but this witch was like trying to do some shit that you was able to walk away from. And then God was sitting there laughing. God is sitting there laughing at this witch like you thought that you wasn't going to be judged. You thought that you wasn't going to get some. You thought I was just going to allow you to get away with this. You know, this is somebody who gossiped about you, who laughed behind your back, who tried to get other people to gang up on you. This is that person. And now this person is feeling the ramifications of their own actions. They are in regret. They feel so bogged down. You know, this is somebody who's hoping that they can heal. They may even be sick. They may have problem. I don't know why I'm feeling like problems breathing, like their lungs are filling up with water or something. This is somebody who did too much. Hey, Steve, how are you? That's right, as they motherfucking should. This is somebody's having problems breathing. They feel like, like now all of a sudden they have to use inhalers, or now all of a sudden they have to have an oxygen tank everywhere they go. And this is somebody who maybe never smoked anything, or drink or whatever, but yet they are and they're wondering, why am I receiving this? How come why, what is it called? COPD or something like that. Why are my lungs filling up with fluids? Why is this happening? Why is that happening? It's like you never know what's going to happen after you do some fuck shit. After, what was sent to you was returned to them, because it sure the hell didn't touch you. They're feeling it. They're regretting it. And they're afraid of you. They are afraid of you. And this somebody that was in their ego, they didn't want to act like you. This could have been, you could be a fire sign's mother or something like that. But this is somebody who was in their ego, very, very prideful, very prideful. And this is somebody who now realizes that they should have been protecting you. What's the message, Spirit? Yeah, and this is somebody right now who is so ashamed of themselves because of how they chose to treat you. And now they see that you was a gift, but because of how they chose to be like a puppet on a string, easily swayed, no loyalty, they're being affected by their money. Their money is being affected. This is somebody who thought that they could control you. Somebody else that talked about you, They talk bad about you. They could have called you all types of names. Now it's they're having heart problems. You know, they because you had a good heart, they said so much dirty shit about you. Now they are having heart issues. So you don't know how this is coming back on them, but it's definitely coming back on them. Like they say, every dog has their day, and they're learning how to bark right now. People are starting to realize that this was just all made up lies. That's it. People are starting to look and see that none of this shit was even true. That they was just trying to, these people were investing their time and gossip and bitterness and lies and jealousy, and that's it. And now it shows because they are upset, and here you are thanking God for breaking free. What's the message? Hey Frank, how are you? Yeah, and they're all fighting against each other now. They have nothing. They are all fighting against each other. And like I said, somebody's trying to figure out, why did they even act like this? Why did they even do this for so long? Why didn't they just leave you be? Why didn't they just try to be peaceful with you? Somebody's trying to figure that out because they know now that you had them on lock and on clock all damn day long. You knew what they was doing. You knew how they was trying to come to you. You knew that they was lying on you. You knew that they was lying on your gifts. And this is why you spoke your piece and decided just to separate yourself. Like I said, somebody that was used to pride themselves on their good health, that shit has changed. That shit has changed. All of that magic tricks that they did, all that shit is coming back. And it knew who to target. The person who put it out there. Their health is really going down. I'm telling you. Not only are they having this and people are fighting with each other. Like I said, somebody's left out in the cold. Somebody may have lost their house, but whatever, they're all getting some. It's a tower in everybody's life. Hey, chickens, how are you? All of them are receiving a tower because they all tried to hold you back. And this is the end of the year, too. Spirit is clearing everything. Like I said, I saw in my mind's eye where the wind was blowing and how they put all these dead leaves on your driveway. All of those dead leaves were being removed from your driveway and went back to where they belonged. This could be somebody with an I, J, K, or L in their first, middle, or last name. This is something that you may hear about on the news, or you may hear news about it. This is because, you know what? Whatever they did to you was not cool, especially since you were divine feminine and a divine mother. But everybody knows that shit was not cool. And that's what people are talking about. It's like, you didn't do anything to deserve any of it. Absolutely, positively nothing. And now they want to be in that victim mentality whenever those are the ones that came after you. You never came after them. Even whenever they did that fuck shit and you rose above that, you never said, okay, well, I'm getting ready to get some revenge. Oh, thank you so very much, Rain C. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, Thank you. I love you so very much. Thank you. You know, it's like, whenever they was doing fuck shit to you, you never did some fuck shit to them. You let them go. You let them be. Because you felt like, you know what? All right, so now they see that that didn't work out. They'll leave me alone. But they didn't. See, now their actions are catching up to them. A lot of them is hitting them financially. Some of them is hitting them with their health. Like I said, somebody can't breathe right now. That's what they do. They doing. They sitting back and they thinking about their last breath. Like, oh God, please don't let me die. Somebody now has the extra expense of purchasing oxygen, having that shit delivered. This is somebody who was like, I don't understand. I never smoked anything. I didn't even like being around smoke. Well, you know what? Just because you didn't, you asked for the fucking smoke. You asked for that smoke. Whenever you would attack collective, that's what you said. I want the smoke. So God said, say less. Somebody, like I said, somebody else is going to be in an accident. They're realizing that they should have had an understanding of themselves and how spirit wants them to act and how spirit will work. I'm telling you, it's spirit, your ancestors, angels and archangels were all here. And everybody knows that they were a lost soul. They see that you are a high priestess. And then they have to think what was good for them is also good for what was good for you was also good for them. It all backfired. All of it. It all backfired. What's that? Revenge is mine, saith the Lord. And that's who you let get revenge. Yes, there's some type of divine magic coming where there's something that's better is coming for you. Yep. And I'm telling you, they're ashamed to admit to them and to you that they abused you. And whoever did that black magic, trust me, it's locked and on target. It's going back to the person. It recognizes who it needs to attack. I told you, they are afraid of you. This is somebody who acted like a dictator in your life. But you know what? You took a leap of faith whenever you left. And you just took a leap of faith and said, you know what? It can't be this bad with me just having God in my life, because I see this quote unquote family ain't no family to me. God said, come on, get in this boat. Yes, your painful period is over because of your good intentions, because of you wanting to know what your life purpose is, and you fulfilling it. Something happened under the full moon. Somebody tried to do some black magic on you under the full moon, and they did it on the wrong one because you asserted the truth. See, they slept on you. They slept on you. They didn't realize that your 11th house, social network, prosperity, fulfilling of your dreams, they didn't realize about that. Now, somebody, like I said, it was stuck in their ego or their pride. And what they did was they just opened up Pandora's box. Now they wishing they could close that motherfucker. See, you were seeing the truth all along seeing the truth. Like I said, they need confirmation. They need your help. And you had to do it alone in order to grow. And so they have to do it alone in order to grow. But the good thing is you leveled up and you knew how to tame their demons. This is somebody that they should have looked and thought again about what they were doing. But instead, they didn't. And so now they are being haunted. This is somebody who now they told you at one point that you need to get some therapy. Guess what? They need to know there's nothing wrong with therapy because they are the ones who need the therapy now. Something about some type of special night out. You may be having a special night out. Now somebody they want to start off by hugging a tree, hoping that if they hug a tree, that's going to help them to take some of this karma off. Don't hug it too tight because that tree may fall on your ass. That may be the karma that you get. What's the message? What you say, J. Mike? I know what's God's and what is mine. I know that's right. Exactly. The solar archetype. Justice, on the other hand, matters. Exactly. Yeah, exactly, Braggsy. Well, Earth angels don't eat star seeds, indigo children don't seek revenge on anyone. Like they say, we are in the earth, but not of this earth. And that's why they come for us. Because they know that we are here, but we're not from here. And the people that we grow up with, we don't really know those people. And there were times whenever, we were like, we don't even know these people. We know that we belong to God, the Creator. We are here on a special mission, special purpose. And these are people that have been cheating for years, trying to take whatever you can. I mean, whatever you have. But see, they realize now that they fumbled the bag. And now that they just dished it out, they realize they ain't about that life. They are not even about that life. They're all afraid. First of all, they're afraid of you. Secondly, they're afraid of karma. They know they are not about that life. Yeah, because you released all of these karmic partners, all of them, friends, family members, whatever. And the only thing that you were worried about was in your last day, God, so asking, did you fight the good fight? Yes, you did. And you were a demon slayer. See, they see you as legendary now. Because you weren't afraid to stand up and fight. You weren't afraid to do what was right. What's the message, Spirit? And you knew that God is everywhere. There's nothing that God does not see. And you also had Archangel Ariel here, reminding you that you write your own book of life, ministering to you, downloading to you through your crown chakra. This is what made it easy for us because all we had to do was listen for the whisper. And this entire time they were out for your blood. We knew that already. But don't forget, we are going to be getting something that we want. 2026 is almost here. We just need to remain strong. We need to stay in our purpose. And if some of us are not sure what our purpose is, we need to sit back. We need to relax. We need to meditate. And we need to think about when we were 3 or 4. Thank you so very much. Thank you so very much, Rain C. I really do appreciate you so very much. We need to sit back and think about what it was when we were 3, when we were 4, our youngest memories, and did we say we were going to be a doctor? Okay, that means that we're a healer. Did we say we were going to be a teacher? That means that we need to teach, others, the others that don't feel like they are in their life purpose, or those that are still asleep, that are still in that matrix. What did we say we were going to do? What did we say we were going to be? A scientist? Okay, now we need to, tell people and teach people about the stars, about, whether it's astronomy, astrology, whatever that is. We have to think about what our purpose is here for, what we are meant to do, and then get on that path. All right, y'all, I'm going to leave it right there. Thank you so very much. I really do appreciate everyone. Rain C, thank you so very much. I really do appreciate this. All right, y'all. Yes. Would you say while I'm at it? Yes. Rest in peace, old dirty bastard. Yes, exactly. Yes, exactly. I love the Wu-Tang Clan. Wu-Tang. I love them. All the 80s. I love them all. All right, y'all. I will see you a little bit later. I'm going to go out, do some running around and some errands, and I will see you a little bit later, okay? All right, bye now.